Well, hello, welcome. This time we got ATBH Danny here joining us, and of course Craig here from Elite as well, helping host the HTK Winter Series. I say helping, you really are doing it. So
I'm
Danny,
just a helper.
you've done a lot of help then, if that's the case. Danny, thank you so much for hopping on here, man.
Appreciate you guys for having me, man. It means a lot.
Absolutely. So this has just been an opportunity for us to showcase all the teams and players and help the audience get to know who's out there playing on the field and a chance for you maybe to win the audience over. So can you tell us a little bit about you and your team ATBH?
Yeah, so my name is Danny. I come from Team ATBH here in Southern California. Our home field's Project N1. And yeah, man, I've been playing airsoft personally for maybe like a year, close to 2 years now. We have a select range of people that we've either met from airsofting or childhood friends, or just one day we're out and about playing and we see someone rocking it up on the field. We get in contact with them, we keep on talking, and then relationships form, and we start asking them, hey man, you want to come out and play for ATBH one of these days? And that's how we got a couple of our members.
Yeah, and I mean, uh, it's quite a strong crew from my understanding. Can you talk a little bit about who all is on your team at the moment, or if you know who all is competing for ATBH? Can you maybe highlight a few of those players for us? And
Yeah, so off the top of my head, there's going to be Avery. Cold is his insert, his handle that he goes by. He's going to be the team captain. We kind of have it in split, three different ways around here. So it's just not one person holds the responsibility. You know, it's kind of split up into individual people. So we have Avery, myself. He goes by AI Kalari. That's Nate. We have Sean, Matt number one, and Matt number two. We have Pat, and then we have some other members, which is going to be Jet and Kevin.
solid.
So that's the full spectrum. Yeah, that what we have. Active roster is probably going to be like three or four of them that are not active. I'll say like two or three, but that's the full active ATBH roster in entirety right there.
And Pops, how did I'm gonna throw you in as well. How did you get to meet ATBH in the crew? Because from my understanding, you guys have maybe even like, I mean, you've hung out with them. From my understanding, you know them. So what's the connection there?
Yeah, so it actually, I didn't know Danny until last year. And Shorty and I got to go play at an NSL event together in California by formal invite from ATBH. I didn't know any of the guys, I only knew Sean on the team. And yeah, my wife was like, hey, Shorty's been invited to go play with these guys. And I'm like, I don't know them except for one dude. And yeah, so I don't know, my 16-year-old, I'm like, yeah, we'll just ship you across the US and you can go play with these guys that I don't know anything about at a, airsoft event in California. And, like 48 hours before he was leaving, my wife says, yeah, you should probably go with him, make sure he's okay. Like nobody messes with him, right? So, um, yeah, it's one reason I got into airsoft because some stuff went down and made sure that didn't happen again. So, yeah, so I flew out to California. Tyler flew in the day before. I flew in like while they were playing, um, and just got to watch a team. Like I went to play, but not really play. I was there to support. As you were commentating, which was amazing. It was like going to see my old buddies in California, and yeah, I mean, with Danny and Tyler and his entire team, we just clicked really well. I mean, they run their team like I run Elite. It's very professional. It's no disrespect to other teams unless you're disrespected, right? Like it comes with a big bag on your back, a target on your back. They're crazy talented players. Their team is Communication style is very similar to ours, and that was one thing that I, love about Danny. So Danny has been invited multiple times to play with Elite, and it's been a massive um, addition to our travel team. So he went from Danny to Daddy, which was amazing. Lots of smiles and laughs, and we're trying to have fun in the sport, and it's just been awesome to get to know Danny. It's been amazing to know his team. So we all feel like family right now. Elite had to go up against ATBH at national championships for speed last year, and it was all hugs and high fives and stuff like that. But they're killers, man. Like ATBH is no joke. So yeah, it's just been an awesome, like truly special time for me as a dad to like know my son is associating with guys like Danny and his team. They're just, man, they're just top notch. So yeah, all the way around.
I That might be a bit of an understatement that you mentioned, like how not professional. I mean, you mentioned that, but performance driven this team is. Because for Elite to say another team is like, yeah, that's a tough team. That's a big statement. I don't think a lot of people watching maybe understand the level of that compliment when you said that. Because Elite's been well known from coast to coast to just be a performance house. So for them to have high remarks of a team like that, that's pretty huge. With that being said, Danny, what is ATBH looking to prove when they come out to HTK for the Winter Series?
So in all honesty, number one is to go, perform our best we can. But at the same time, we're not just there just to win, but also there for the family aspect. I mean, like Pops has said, the relationships between ATBH and Elite, they're strong, and it's the same way with all the other teams that we've either competed with or competed against. At the end of the day, it's all hugs, it's all, fist bumps, and it's all just, we're all there for one reason, to have fun. And the biggest thing is ATBH hasn't had a top one spot yet. We podiumed a couple times, nothing too crazy. But yeah, man, we've been prepping. We've been doing our due diligence with stuff we have to do, competing, whether it's limited class Vegas or Tax City, the championships last year. We're just trying to go out and show people, what we really are and what we're capable of on a broad spectrum.
But what you're saying is you've been saving it in your bag, your first place to debut at the HTK Winter Series is kind of, I'm reading between the lines, but it sounds like that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say anything too crazy, all the teams that I know or can imagine they're going to go compete. There's some top level teams coming. And the same way we come out with all the competition, we got to give it all, leave it all on the field. And at the end of the day, the best team is going to be in that top position, that 1, 2, 3 spot.
Yeah.
I don't know how to segue necessarily from that. I think that was really well spoken, though. I did want to talk.
Hey, I will say this. Danny got multiple wins under the Elite name, though. We'll just say that.
Yeah, man. As an individual player, I come from a background of paintball when I was young. Yeah. Young meaning 10, 11, 12, 13, I stopped. Playing out speedball with these D3, D4 level players at the local field. And, whenever there's a higher level players playing out and they see a little kid, they're all going to give them love. They're all going to give them, the advice and training that someone should give the younger generation. And it helped me a lot. My field closed down and I had a field close to me, but I didn't really make it out until I started making my own money, became an adult. And I slowly but surely, I see a lot of stuff that I learned in paintball transfers to airsoft, whether it's movement-wise, game sense-wise. And I think traveling with the lead as well, I don't have to worry about my back. I know that Elite has my back, and I know that I can play the fullest, and knowing the guy next to me is going to be playing the exact same level, if not higher.
That's huge. That yeah. Alone, I mean, that puts a lot of trust. And that takes I mean, a whole lot of things coming together because there's like that natural level of instinct that a team or a player has to have, but then that's got to be backed up with skill, and you got to have like open vision of the field. There's so many factors that attribute to a good player, but then also to a good team. So that is interesting to hear a few of those points kind of uh, pulled out of context, maybe in a sense. Um, Focusing back on ATBH, do you guys travel a lot from the Cali area, or?
Um, for a majority of the times we do travel for, the leagues that we do kind of enjoy playing or liking. We haven't traveled out to any CSL events. We've traveled to Sac County for the NSL, recently for SpeedQB in Vegas. But well, we're a fresh team. We started our team in January this year, so we haven't even had a full year under our belt. And now this next coming year, and all these things, all these travel opportunities, we do plan on traveling. It's just when we started, there wasn't too much to travel to.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but it is luckily people like Craig have been getting more involved, making these destinations for people to come down to. Um, with the HTK series being one of them, but hopefully more places show up in the future. Um, I wanted to ask too, maybe to go a bit more in depth on that. What kind of involvement do you have to plan for when you're traveling to these far out events?
So it's easy to go to events and to sign up on whatever site that's available. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that go into it. Whether it's your work life, your personal life, you have to kind of put that on a pause. The travel expenses, this and that. And most events, all events that you go for a trophy. You go for bragging rights. But for this HTK series, it's not bragging rights. It's not a little trophy. It's gonna be something big. It's not, like my point is it's worth it to go out. It's gonna be, if you perform, you're gonna get rewarded. I think that's something that we've been missing in the airsoft community for a long time.
Right on. And yeah, I mean, the thought is there, and I think it really comes down to the players getting involved to make this happen. Hey, Pops, we'll get you sorted back in here in a second. One thing that I did want to kind of highlight on though is that you do a lot of stuff individually for the sport too, correct? Like specifically, I guess if I'm going to nail the hit the nail on the head is editing. Like you do some video edits and stuff for the league, correct?
Yeah, so for my team, I do, I would say, if not all, majority of the filming. And luckily, I do have a great partner for my editing for ATBH. And I feel like the biggest thing that we pride ourselves on is our performance and our media. It's easy to make an iPhone video or a GoPro video and merge it all together and throw up an edit. But to take the time to learn how to edit correctly, or to put that little extra effort into your hobby, it does show a lot. And the community is also, they've given us our kudos and the respect, that we're not just throwing random garbage out on Instagram, or we're not throwing random stuff out. And we're all here together, we're all here as a community, we're all here as teams, regardless if we're on separate teams or not. So when I do get offered opportunities to expand my work, or to expand, help anybody else, I'm more than happy to do so.
I think it's huge too that you mentioned this quality, not quantity. It one banger video is way better than like 10 just meh, just content out there. Um,
Yeah.
we talked a little bit about before we started recording this that Vegas edit. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I just keep going back to it. The music, the pacing, like it all just it puts a memory. Like I didn't go there. I didn't go to the event, but I almost have like a sentimental attachment to it by watching this and getting to see y'all's experience. And I mean that takes skill. But I think that uh, involves the community to grow and to evolve into something. They see these cool edits. I can do that, or I want to do something like that.
Yeah. And I think, the biggest thing is everyone gets into airsoft because they either watch a big SpeedQB video or, their favorite influencer on airsoft. And if we can have these little short clips, where it's not a full YouTube video, but you're scrolling on your algorithm and here you see a video, these flashy masks, these flashy guns, whatever cool scenes that we do or cool transitions that we do, if that can help bring people into the sport and keep people in the sport, I feel like with that gives me the satisfaction that I need.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some future edits. Hopefully, some sick edits at the HTK Winter Series too. Um, Maybe just to round this full conversation out for the audience members watching, and maybe even the other teams. Is there anything you want to throw out there for ATBH to try and win the audience over to root for you in this series that you haven't already said, or even if you want to reiterate on something that you have kind of driven in this conversation?
I mean, off the top of my head, I don't have a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think the biggest thing is you got to choose a team and stick with it. Whether it's our team, whether it's any other team, East Coast, West Coast, in between Central. Um, ATBH is gonna go out. We're gonna give it our best. And the best thing is we're gonna have fun, and then give it a week or two, and you're gonna see the fun we had all into Instagram.
Right on. And can you drop your social media handles or whatever so that people that do want to follow your guys' journey out here and performance and everything, how can they follow ATBH?
Yeah, so we have our Instagram. It's gonna be a ATBH official. And then we also have my personal Instagram is going to be Who is Danny, and those are both Instagram handles. And respectively, we have our TikTok account for our team page, and then some more things coming out in the future of 2024, whether it be in YouTube as well.
Right on. And for people that have been wondering this whole time, can we finish off and can you tell us what does ATBH stand for?
As much as I want to say what it stands for, it's kind of for our culture, for our crew, for the people around at ATBH to know. But I think what the community has seen and they've taken advantage of it is no one knows what the true meaning of ATBH is. So there's all these type of acronyms coming out, whether it's all the BBs hit, all the best hitters at that house. There's a lot of different things, and whatever the people want to interpret our name as is they put it as, and people aren't afraid to say it when they see us, or whether we post something and they comment it or they tag us and stuff. So it's an acronym at this point.
Right on. I like that. A little bit of mystery for the imagination to run wild with. Well,
Gotta keep them guessing, buddy.
yeah. Well, I think you guys have kind of set the bar. Going in, there's maybe some high expectations for the audience. Thanks to Craig playing you guys up. So hopefully you guys can perform the level that we're expecting now in the HTK Winter Series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to not to cut anyone off, but I just want to say the last thing is all kudos to Pops, all highest prestigious awards to Pops. He's come from a player, a dad, there's a bunch of things that he has done that people haven't seen strictly for the community. And firsthand, I'm lucky to know the guy on a personal level. And I just want to say thank you, Pops, for everything you've given, not me, not ATBH, but everybody on the airsoft field.
Means a lot, man. Appreciate you for sure.
I mean, just to add to that too, I mean, it's just been an incredible experience, and everybody that I've gotten to talk to, even now preparing for this event, have all been connections that you've made in the series of whatever chapter this is of airsoft. And it's cool that every single person that's hopped on here has been like, "Hey, it's Pops. What's up, man?" And just nothing but love from the get-go. So it's unreal. Something of the industry, which at one point in time we've talked about it in the past, where it seemed like it was a toxic thing to get into now. it's not like that. There's just so much love and respect and community across the board with it. So I think you're kind of like a huge staple, holding everything together and driving this future of SpeedQB in a warm, positive environment.
Yeah, it means the world to me. I mean, I spent a lot of years racing around the globe doing my thing, right? And at a certain point, I had to make sure that I locked in and did my job as a dad, and retired from that profession, and now doing a couple different professions. Um, but the honor is, it's really crazy within the sport, and I hope people understand that. Like, this isn't about overshooting people and hurting people. This is about the competition. This is about crazy hits in football. These are about roping one out of left field playing baseball. This is about the massive names in soccer. I want to bring airsoft to the light, right? Like, this has been a reinvigorating, kind of lighting the fire under me to just enjoy a sport again. Like, I've been a competitive swimmer since I was 4. At one point I had 156 state records in the state of Florida. I went off to college, and I swam in college, on a full ride, and like, this is the next level. I mean, I'm older, but man, my heart is just, I love competition, and to be able to watch like people like Danny and people like Tyler and all these guys who are known around the United States, and now we get to know them, and like being able to provide and bring them to a series that we're trying to put on and just remodel a field. Like, I feel like all the stars are aligning. This has just become such a cool thing to be a part of, and I hope people show up. I mean, if you don't show up, you're missing out. That's what this is about. This is well beyond airsoft. I personally like have an internal goal, just like I did with triathlon. Is I wanna put some money in the sport. There should be money in the sport. The guys making millions off of this for airsoft parts, they need to be more involved. And that's the first person through the door is going to get beat up a little bit. I'm okay with that. I'm older, I got thick skin, I'm fine with that. But this, if when you show up to this event, I don't care if it's January, February, March, or April, you're going to see a difference in the community. And that's what we want to provide for this series. So I'm honored that, you guys say what you say. I just see it not even, I mean, I get to play. I mean, freaking love playing. I mean, I get to play right by Danny's side, last year multiple times. I mean, it's just an honor for me, like an older guy playing the sport, but I want to change the sport. And I think we're on the cusp to be able to do that. So thanks to both of you guys for allowing me to do this. I'm having a blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, man, it's changing the sport. And while you're changing the sport, I still want to think about the time when you're running down, you're getting the full ace at Tampa, PQB, man. And I'm snapping through my bunkers, and I see Pops over there on the breakout wall on the opposing side. I go, "What's Pops doing over there?" He was right behind me, and it's clear. Bring it in. Bring it in. Where's the flag?
he's still got skills, man.
Yeah. Pops, he may look a little older, an age gorilla, but he's still kicking, man. He's still kicking.
uh,
Yeah, that's all.
well, at least he gets to take a little bit of a break here and watch rather than be on the field playing with helping ref this series. So you can relax those worn out legs and but Thank you again, guys, so much for hopping on here. And I wish you the best of luck in the series, Danny. I think
Thank you.
ATBH is going to be a huge hit for the crowd. So thank you again, guys, for hopping on here.
Appreciate you
Yes,
guys for
sir.
having me. Thank you.